If origin stories are done right, then we love them. To this day, I still come across people who say, The Dark Knight was great and Heath Ledger's performance can't be compared, but overall, Batman Begins was a better film. Now, there's only so much analysis I can give on a film before I have to acknowledge the huge amount of subjectivity at play. But I believe that the people who prefer Batman Begins to The Dark Knight simply love a good origin story, which is why I asked myself, what is it about origin stories that we love so much? And then I was reminded of an important lesson, one that I'm sorry to say I don't see often enough. And I was reminded, appropriately enough, by a doctor.
How do I get from here to there?
How did you become a doctor?
Study and practice, years of it.
Too often we see those on top and seldom think that of ourselves. I can never become a superhero because I was never given the power of a sorcerer. I was never bitten by a radioactive spider. I was never given a magical, sexifying serum that makes me pretty. Except, what would most of us really do if we were given this power? Sadly, the majority of us would probably use the sexifying serum to pick up a hot date, or the power of a spider to avoid traffic. Most of us can't be Doctor Strange because we're not as tenacious as he is. When he's posed with a problem, how do I get from here to there? He's given a relatable obstacle. How did you become a doctor? A hurdle that he's already cleared. Study and practice. Years of it. Doctor Strange becomes a skilled and powerful sorcerer because of who he is, not what he's given. I, personally, can never become what Doctor Strange became. How do I know this? Well, because he's a doctor and I'm not one. He works harder than most of us. He doesn't give up. He goes through study and practice. Years of it. Because he wants to be the best, where the rest of us might be satisfied with just being good enough. Having the power is what makes him super. What makes him a hero is something else. A willingness to put forth effort. A willingness that the rest of us might not have. Which brings me to a flaw that I've noticed in some of our more recent protagonists. I love the Harry Potter series, but there is a big flaw in these films. Harry's general lack of effort. He's not special because he works the hardest or studies the most. That would actually be Hermione Granger, the most skilled of the three wizards. Harry is only special because everybody says that he is. He's famous, has the scar, and just happened to survive Voldemort. But basically through no fault of his own, and certainly not through any effort. Harry succeeds because success falls into his lap. An anonymous donor buys him the fastest broomstick on the market. Fawkes drops into his hand the only weapon that can kill a basilisk. He just happens to get stuck with the Half-Blood Prince's textbook. He isn't so much an underdog for us to root for, as much as he is a hapless wizard whose journey is largely determined by luck. Hermione Granger, on the other hand, would have made a great underdog hero. Someone who succeeds because she tries the hardest and studies the most. Someone who has muggles for parents and underachievers for friends. She arguably put forth the most effort and received virtually no credit. This is the main problem that I've seen with a lot of modern heroes when comparing them to classic ones. A huge gap in the effort put forth by our protagonist. Where Anakin or Rey can be good at all things Force-related because they're Force-sensitive or have a lot of midichlorians, Luke goes through study and practice, years of it, at the Dagobah system just to move his lightsaber a couple of feet. While Harry Potter was able to summon a Patronus charm because of a time travel paradox, Hermione is literally working so hard that she's given a time-traveling necklace just to keep up with all of her studies. One of my all-time favorite protagonists is Rocky Balboa. He's not the best or most skilled boxer, but he tries the hardest. He takes the most punishment. He suffers the most. He puts in the most effort. We don't care to see winners win. Winners are boring. When losers win, we feel close to them because life is hard, and let's face it, not a lot of us are winning at life. Losers put forth more effort, and they remind us where true strength lies.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Someone like Michael Phelps might impress me, but he doesn't inspire me in the way that Chuck Wepner does. Usain Bolt is fun to watch, but he won't bring me to tears of excitement and joy in the same way Dave Waddle does. When we watch a film with a powerful Kryptonian or billionaire genius or any number of larger-than-life characters that are not at all relatable, we look for explosions to entertain us. The films most likely to touch us are underdog stories or origin stories. How did this normal, everyday, relatable, tragic character get to be so much larger than life? How did they go from the bottom to the top? Which leads to the next logical question. How do I get there? The answer is given to us by our favorite origin stories. Study and practice. Years of it.